Hello, Adam Bazalgette here, founder of Scratch Golf Academy. Today, what the wrists should really be doing in the golf swing, critical subject. As a lot goes on in the golf swing, but these are your link to the golf club, and you hit the ball with the club, not with your body. So we'll look at 3 things they should be doing, 3 key areas and drills and images to match. So number 1 on my list, the wrists are critical for speed. Let me put this here. You do this test yourself, or some version of this test. If you had to hit it with only body motion, say that's a little plank of wood I'm chopping, or just arm motion, or just wrist, you are going to create a lot more speed with the wrist. Obviously, the body has a big role in any good golf swing, but if it's not translating to using these effectively, you are robbing yourself, you're losing speed. Let me show you a swing in slow motion, then we'll get out here and I'll show you a drill.
So as you look at me in slow motion, let's stop me when my left arm's about where that car path is. You can see the club's maybe just short of vertical. And let's stop it at that point in the downswing right there. Much, much more wrist angle in the downswing than the backswing. We'll get into why in just a minute. But you need that little bit of load there. And then something we're going to talk about later in the video, you need some snap and some release there.
So unless there's some disassociation is the term, where the segments, the arms, the trunk, the hips, the golf club are all changing positions a bit in the downswing. So unless you have some of that and some snap at the bottom, you are never going to realize the full potential of the wrists. So what I would have you do is make a few back and forth swings. I feel my core and the club almost going in different directions. I'm not consciously trying to make my wrist move a lot. I'm just extra sort of relaxed with them until I can feel the weight of the club, similar to the way a towel would feel. And you got to get out of performance mode for a minute and play around on a small scale and find something. That's what's so important. People just stand there and they rifle full shots at full speed. They may have some new thought in their heads, but you don't usually see much shift. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go just above the ball. It's teed up to make it easier. Start to feel this, and then just slap a little shot, a little thin, I don't care, and just see if I can really start to get this disassociation. This really relates to the downswing, not the backswing, of course, but it's a way to feel some movement in the swing. Critical. Let's look at number 2 from here. So number 2 on our list then is they influence to a significant extent the swing plane. If your wrists break up, they go this way. If they break back, they go that way. What are we really looking for? Well, certainly there have been some elite players over the years that had nearly a vertical wrist break and the club was way up here like that and then made its loop. And conversely, there's been a few. Nancy Lopez, think of her, one of the great lady players ever, did this and went that way. Not recommending that for most people. It's just not as easy. And I'll say this, tenfold do people make the mistakes. I've been teaching golf for decades. Too much of this versus this. So here's kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for more or less an upward hinge, but you have to remember, take a horizontal swing yourself in slow motion. When the club's swinging around you and when this trail elbow folds, you will naturally see a little bit of rotation in that lead arm and hand. In other words, the wrists are slightly rotating once you introduce that factor to it. And I think for the great majority of people, the subtle feeling that they're only hinging up, they're erring to that side, is the better look for them for sure. And besides which, it's a big, my old boss Leadbetter was a big fan of this sort of look. The club is more naturally predisposed to go this way versus the other way. So work it out for yourself, but more this way than this way till you like the plane you're on.
So here's an old video of David Leadbetter, his great ball striker at his home course in Sea Island, Georgia. Let's have a look at it through impact there. If you like these videos, by the way, I hope you'll subscribe to this YouTube channel. Plan to bring you lots more free content. Okay, there's the loading of the wrist. Now watch through impact. There's lots of lag. That would tend to aim the face out to the right, but watch moments after impact. See how the face is... You can see the face is turned, but look at his hands too. You'll see the glove is noticeably under that lead forearm. And if we go just a little bit farther and you draw a line out from the arms, the club has gone by that. So it has to create a little speed, snap a bit there, and you have to get the face to close. Film yourself and see if you see those 2 checkpoints.
Now, perhaps grip and posture aside, because they're so foundational, if I could gift any player that I teach, let's say a newer or less skilled player, with anything, it might be educated wrists or educated wrists and hands, if you like. In other words, the ability to let the club load, to square the club effectively, to let the club release. And the feel for doing that would make them at least a reasonably good player, almost regardless of what else. Maybe not a tour player, but that would be crucial. So you have to play around with this. Now, really important that you get the feel for what does it feel like to truly close the face. It isn't that. It's tilting it downwards. Take that lead hand and do that. And you'll see when I do that, that's going to give me that look in the knuckles. So many people are flashing the club that I watch on video, but the left arm's all broken down, the glove's up here, so you have to develop that skill. Certainly the ability, which we touched on earlier, to load the club and let it crack a little bit like a whip is going to help you do this, but you have to educate your hands. So let's hit a little shot like that. Little 8-iron here. There we go. And as I frequently recommend, overdo stuff. Get in play mode a little bit and your performance will skyrocket. You'll gain some skill. I hope these ideas are helpful for you, and best of luck.